Welcome back, everyone. So the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amaechi, had a space with Nigerians today, which he reviewed a lot of things. And then when I came in, I recorded some, which I'm going to allow you guys to listen. But first of all, look at the key point of what he said today. According to Rotimi Amaechi, he said that if he become president, that he will cancel Lagos-Calabar Highway because it is a waste of project. So because of this, Agbados have been crying, At least let Peter Obi rest today, honestly. And another thing he said, that if he do not end corruption in Nigeria within 1 month, that he will resign. And also, another thing he said, that Peter Obi won Rivers State in 2023 election, which I believe that Nigerians knew that Peter Obi won the presidential election in 2023, not just in Rivers State. Even El-Rufai has published the result, like how Peter Obi won the election in 2023. So this is not new anywhere, but coming from Rotimi Amaechi, I think is a news, right? So another thing Rotimi Amaechi said, that if he win the primaries in ADC and they insult him online, that he will employ 500 to 1,000 unemployed youth to insult you and your grandfather. Which means all these things we are seeing from Agbados, like, it's going to be worse. Like, Amaechi is going to be worse than Tinubu when it comes to this internet fight. Yes, my people. So a lot of people have been saying it, that even for Rotimi Amaechi to become the vice president of anybody in Nigeria, that is going to be a problem. Anyway, my people, let me just allow you guys to listen to some of the things that he said today.
If you throw back that 3 trillion naira, not 3 million, 3 trillion naira back into the economy, it will have an impact on the economy. That's the point I'm making. Where is the money you saved from the money that was used to hedge the dollar against naira? Where is the money? If you throw back that money into the economy, people will feel the impact. That's the point I'm making. So I'm saying that some people are sitting down and making away with that money. If I become the president of Nigeria, it will not happen. You will feel the impact. The money will be used to create employment. If you use that money to start social housing, even if it's 10,000 houses per state, you create 10,000 carpenters, 10,000 masons, and put money in their pockets, or pockets of Nigerians, to at least be able to buy those houses, to at least be able to pay for fuel subsidy. That's the point I'm making.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I'll quickly move to Abbas. Abbas has been here. Abbas, good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. Good morning, Your Excellency, and everyone. I just have one question. Your Excellency, I would want to understand the role yourself and some others played in the primaries that brought PMB to power, subsequent role played, in the election of PMB by all parties, because some of the narratives we have here are that maybe one particular person was instrumental to PMB coming to power. What role did you yourself played during the primary and after the primaries in bringing PMB to power? Thank you.
What I don't do is claim the glory of God. So as far as I was concerned, Buhari was brought to power by God. And that's how far I want to go. But those who claim that they brought him to power should account for some of the funds that made Buhari get angry. And I don't want to say how much was spent, because I have the record. Don't forget, I was the DJ of campaign, and I have the records, and I want to keep the records to myself until I write my book. I'm going to write a memoir about that. So I don't know who made Buhari president. I was even astonished when the former SGF said, in talking about how Buhari became president, I'm not sure he even mentioned my name. But again, I don't. It's unimportant. What's important that Buhari was president, and by God's grace, he was president. I confronted Garuba, and he said its own part was in his book, the book that he wrote, because Garuba had in an interview claimed that did not mention how he was appointed as the special advisor on information or press or something. He was not even on the list. I had to go to London to say, I hired this man from Atiku to be the spokesman of the president. Why would he not be appointed as the chief press secretary? That's how he was included. So he said, no, he apologized for that interview, but I should check the book that is there in the book. So I don't also want to talk about how Buhari became president. Believe me, it's God that decided that Buhari will be president. If another person is claiming glory, I wish him well. But let the person now tell us how much he contributed. Let the person tell us what he did. Because you saw us for primary, everybody saw me everywhere. I was everywhere for the primary. And I was chairman of Governors Forum. So did this person speak to the governors? Did he plead with the governors to vote for Buhari? Because truly, Buhari would have been defeated at the stage of the primary. He was popular among his people. He was popular among Nigerians. But what about the delegates? That was the delegate election. We had to talk to our colleagues to help vote him in as the only way to be able to defeat President Goodluck Jonathan. And they did. But again, it's unimportant who made Buhari, whatever. It's not the thing I want to discuss. I want to leave it out of this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We have just 15 minutes before we round up, so I'll quickly go to Jack. Jack, good morning. Can you be very good?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Amaechi. Thank you for the opportunity to engage with you. So my questions are going to be very quick, and the first one is you served for 8 years under the administration we consider the most incompetent in the history of our country, if not in Africa. And during that 8 years, you never raised any concerns. You never said anything about Buhari's obvious incompetent administration. And then you're coming down to tell us that, oh, you would have done this. Tinubu has just spent 4 years, right, in office, and you have a lot of things to say about his government. But for good 8 years, Buhari's government was not, incompetent in your eyes. I think that's questionable, and I would really love to know why you kept quiet for 8 years, and then have a lot of things to say in 2.5 years. That's number one. Then number two is that in the last APC primaries, you did say, when you clocked 60, that you told Bola, to his face that you're not going to support him, right, after the primaries. And one would, ask the question, does that mean that if you lose the primary in ADC, you're not going to support whoever, emerges through that process? And the third question is, are you comfortable the way ADC is currently structured? Do you have confidence in the leadership? Do you think that you would accept whatever comes out of the primaries? Thank you so much. That's my question.
I think you don't live in Nigeria. I think you live outside Nigeria. Why I say you live outside Nigeria is Buhari completed the Port Harcourt, Abuja Kaduna Railway. I don't know whether that is incompetence. Buhari started and completed the Lagos Ibadan Railway. Buhari built the first seaport in Nigeria. What you have is river ports. The first seaport in Nigeria was built under Buhari. It was under my ministry. I started it and I ended it. The roads that, what's his name? Fashola built, that's part of incompetence. The railway from Itakbe to Warri was started, is it Babangida or Shagari? It was completed under Buhari. The what's it called? Not lake, the dams were all completed under Buhari, and all this you refer to as incompetence. You must be a Tinubu supporter before for that kind of question that you ask. Now you say if we can compare Buhari's first 4 years to Tinubu's first 4 years, compare that. Buhari in borrowing money, he was borrowing money. Everybody was shouting about him borrowing money, but he was able to stop. He did not remove subsidy. People are not dying of hunger as they were dying now. People are dying. People are committing suicide. First year of Tinubu, people are jumping into the lagoon. And because of your time, me, I'm available. Let's go back to the issue of why I didn't support Tinubu. I've told you here, I have said that in a free and fair primary, quote me, in a free and fair primary, whoever emerges in ADC will be supported by me. I will go about campaigning for him. I will put on any effort I need to put to remove this incompetent government. Now that you have called it incompetent, as I accuse them of being incompetent, I will not be like them if I win primary. I will do everything differently. I've told you here that in my first 2 years, I will create what's it called? A middle class. Currently, there is no middle class. It's either you're rich or you're poor. I will get the governors to sit down with me. We will build primary schools in every village. We will build primary healthcare center in every village. I will bring money, they will bring money, and we'll build. I won't allow the governors just get away with the money, run away with the money. It will not happen in my regime if I'm elected the president. So whatever you're doing with Tinubu, some of us when we get money to just feed ourselves, we'll do anything we like. But for how long? We just don't need to feed ourselves. We need to be able to sustain it. So you can't compare Buhari's government to Tinubu's government. Tinubu's government is the worst government. In fact, somebody told me that he thought Buhari's government would have been the worst. He said that we can never go below this. We have gone below Buhari. May God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll quickly move the mic to Igurube. Igurube, good morning.
No, that would have been here. That would have been here before Igurube. That would, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
that would.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. It's a very good rapport. There are so many hotheads in ADC, and some of us have started being part of the process. We were part of the process in 2013. We have been part of the process now again to rebuild a new nation. This nation of ours is something that we know that there are no strong institutions, there are only strong individuals. Yes, Mr. Amaechi is a very strong individual. Arufa is a strong individual. So is Atiku, and so is PO. What are we going to be doing differently in the ADC to make sure that, okay, we from the outside, we might not be partisan, to be able to monitor and be sure that, okay, this delegate system or whatever that is going to produce what is going to produce is going to make sure that there is a pathway for survival for the youth, and we actually rebuild this country, because for now it is just self-serving. Yes, you cannot run for anything if you don't have certain amounts of monies. You cannot run for anything, whether it is even if you win the primaries and you don't have money for elections, you are going to lose out in those elections. What are we going to be doing to make sure that, okay, we can support this, make sure that the primaries are free and fair, and at the same time, make sure that there is a leadership recruitment process, because that's the biggest deficit we have. We just have strong individuals. I believe in what you say. I believe in what Arufai says. I believe in what all the coalition leaders, Peter Obi, and all of them are saying. But are you guys going to go into a pact to say that, okay, we are coming together, whoever whose ox is God, and make sure that we give this country a befitting nation that we can all be proud of? Because at this point in time, we are the laughingstock of the world. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. I can understand how you feel, but you see, you must not only be a participant at the level of primary. You must also be a participant at the level of policy. No one man can tell you he's an expert in everything. No one person. Well, I think that first and foremost, get people like you and others that will go back to the chairman and insist that the primary must be free, transparent, and fair. If it is not free, transparent, and fair, that is the first step to the death of ADC. So it's important that we all get up and make sure that the chairman and the members of the cabinet executive of ADC know that. The second aspect is that it's not about resume. I prefer the action. I said as governor of Rivers State, can you go back to Rivers State and find out all this noise about 90% of the political class in Rivers State passed through me? Name them. Just name them, and I will tell you the day they were recruited. I recruited them, but they can't stand hunger. Some of them can't stand hunger. But look at Dakuku. I recruited Dakuku from university when I was special assistant to the then governor. Would you say that Dakuku didn't perform as DG of Nimasa? Look at Asita. There were some of them like that. If given an opportunity, trust me, just trust me. What I can't do, I will tell you I can't do it. I will sit down here with as many young men and women as possible to teach me what they think we can do. First, I'll tell them my ideas on how to create, because when you say the youths, you talk about the middle class. There are youths in the rich class. I'm not saying there are no youths, but in the middle class, that's where you have the majority of the youths. Those whose parents look. When I ran the scholarship program in Rivers State, that sent over 3,000 to 4,000 people overseas, that some of them were brought back, but over 1,000 to 2,000 came back, graduated as doctors and all that, and came back to Nigeria. When I did that, they did not. Anybody who approached me to help put him on the scholarship, I found money to train the person instead of putting him on the scholarship. I recruited poor people's children to go outside the country to study. Some of them were screaming. They never saw UK before. That's the first time they heard this is UK. Some went to Canada, some went to India. They went around the world, Singapore. So for me, I'm talking about myself because I can only know about myself when we win the primary. I can only say that if we win the primary, and I need as much support as possible, I'm not among those who will go to social media to be shouting, vote Amaechi and all that. If you don't know me, come close to me, have an open door policy. My house is open. Police doesn't stop anybody from coming in. You can come in at any point in time. Even somebody woke me up at 12 midnight last night. I was enjoying my sleep. I had no choice but to attend to the person. But if we do win, we will sit down to find how to tackle the problem. It is too shameful to be a Nigerian going by what is going on now. And I thank you for your question.
Thank you, His Excellency, sir. Really appreciate, sir. Igweribe, Kenny will speak. Igweribe Kenny will speak. Igweribe, please. Your question, please. Your straight question, please, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ojunayo. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dan Amama. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm all right, sir. Just a quick one. It's going to be two-edged question. Question one is when you win, and first when you are contesting. In ADC, we have so much concern in your state. Your state is important to Nigeria in election, and it has become, in the last three cycle of election, it has become so notorious in rigging. As a ADC member and ADC leader in River State, how are you going to support the people to protect their votes from rigging, from intimidation, from harassment, and result rewriting afterwards? Two, if you become president of the Republic of Nigeria, how are you going to ensure using your office? I know they said INEC is independent, but I don't see independent in anything since politicians are the ones appointing the INECs and the REC and the rest of them. So how are you going to use your office as the president to ensure that INEC umpire actually become independent, that we cannot have the kind of kangaroo result and the election we're having in River State in recent time, that people will vote and have their result tongue in their eyes and ask you to go to court, and INEC will pronounce that result. So how are you going to make INEC independent from political interference, from individual personal influence and the rest of them as a sitting president? These are just the two questions I want to ask you, sir. Thank you and welcome, sir.
Okay, so the first one is that I cannot explain to you what we will do to protect our results online. I have said this several times. Let's finish with the primary. Go, if you're in Nigeria, just go and register in ADC and support me for the primary. Once I emerge, I will articulate how we'll go about focusing and fighting the INEC to stop them from rigging the election. Then on the second one, I assure you that the first 1 year, what part of our achievement will be electoral reform. We will remove the power of the president to appoint an INEC chairman and INEC commissioners. Because what they are currently doing is that they have no character. They appoint APC members, PDP members. I was a PDP governor. They just called you, who do you want to bring from your state? You have to, when you bring, some of them don't even have respect for, for transparency. They bring the party members. And that's because the laws, constitution say that whoever you will appoint must have been qualified to run for the office of the House of Reps. So what is qualification for House of Reps? It must be a card-carrying member of House of a party before you can run for House of Reps. All that constitutional amendment will be necessary for a transparent election. Hold me responsible. I want this kind of interview whenever I win the presidential election to ask me about these reforms. There will be reforms. In some countries, electoral umpires are voted for. They are voted for. So the chairman can emerge through election, but I don't have the details now. I want to sit down with the experts on how to reform INEC so that elections will be transparent. So that people, the reason why politicians do whatever they like to do is because they can't be held accountable. It's the gatekeepers that hold them accountable. Who are the gatekeepers? The gatekeepers are those who sponsor them for election. So for them to run the second tenure, they go back to the gatekeepers. I want the people to be the gatekeepers. And the only way people can be the gatekeepers is an electoral reform. And who is one of the first achievements I will make. In fact, one of the reasons I supported President Buhari was that he promised and made it public that he will make this electoral reforms. I don't know why he didn't do it.
All right, thank you. Was it Kenny? Kenny, please.
Yeah, thank you, Odinaya, and thank you, His Excellency, for coming to Twitter. My first question is what Jack has already covered, which is will you consider your the previous administration, which you have a big influence in, a success? And secondly, is we are tired of when election is getting close, like 5 months or whatever, and everybody will start going around in campaign. When do we expect to see you in villages all across Nigeria? Not kind of a campaign, but starting to tell Nigerians how you will do things differently from what we already know that exists today. Thank you.
Okay, so the first question you asked, I've already addressed it. The government I serve is 100 times better than Buhari's government. I mean, Tinubu's government. The Buhari's government is 100 times better than Tinubu's government. For Christ's sake, we're dying of hunger. By the time I was minister, power was not what we pay here is 1 million naira every week for power, electricity. That 1 million naira multiplied by 4 is 4 million naira a month. Please, how many people can pay that? On top of that, you have to buy diesel at about 300,000 naira. That's not part of feeding, that's not part of domestic staff salary and all that. Well, when Buhari was in government, it wasn't like that. Why are we comparing what is it called, diamond to gold? In fact, this government is not even gold at all. But the second question is, what I would have done differently in terms of not just going to campaign in 5 months time. By December, I will no longer wait for the party. I'm currently waiting for the party to decide what way we should go. If nothing is done between now and December, I will go to the rural areas to begin to ask people that are members of ADC to support me for primary. And that I assure them that if I win primary, these are my policies that I will pursue. And I want to be held responsible for those policies that I've told the public about.
His Excellency, sir, I don't understand you have a meeting in the next, your time, your meeting actually was adjusted already.
How many persons are still waiting to ask questions?
That's why when I talk about time, it's very important. So that's why you have about 40 requests already, 48 requests already, right? And we have citizens here. So I
If
want
you
to
can
ask
assure me,
if you are willing to take more
I'm going to
questions.
take their questions, but if you can assure me that you won't exceed the 48.
48 people, you can okay, I will not insist for 48. Thank you so much, sir. So I will go with Emo Truth, please. Emo
Yes.
Truth.
Can
Yes.
Emo just wait for a minute? Can he wait for a minute? Let me pick up something on my table. Just a minute. Let me pick up something.
All right, so you see, it's quite interesting. Sometimes I wish we don't repeat questions because I think we have been repeating questions that he has already answered. If you are mistaken, listening with your ear, and you're not having anything in your mind, you'll know that many of these questions were repeated here. So I want to plead with us. If there's a question you want to ask and they have asked it, you can tell us so that you can just exit the speaker session so that people can have time to be part of it. You get the point, and it's very important, very very important, so that we can have enough people that want to ask questions as regard questions that have not been asked. Because over this time here, people just want their voice to be heard. You can come up and say thank you so much for what you are doing. I may not know what you are doing for you as a person, but you know personally, so that may be enough, right? So that I will not repeat that. Are you back, sir?
Anyway, before he comes, I would like to thank the Honorable Minister for protecting me and my host. In fact, we are having a lot of requests. If I don't know what would have happened if you are not giving us more time.
I don't
Thank
believe
you,
I
sir.
don't go 50.
Thank you, sir. So, if you afford us more time to accept more requests, we equally want to thank those that have been here with us and those that are still here and those that are joining. We thank you so much for giving us your time this morning.
I'm back.
We appreciate it.
I'm back.
Thank you so much,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate. We really, really appreciate. So, Emo Truth, please, your questions. Question direct, please. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. So, my good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, former Governor of River State, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi. My question is quite straightforward. So, what are your intentions when you want to come into office? Do you want to do one term or do you want to do 2 terms? Peter Obi recently promised that all he needs is 1 term and he's only going to.
I think you answered that question already. You answered that question of one term. If you have another
Okay,
question,
then I have a
please.
different question. I have a completely different
Please
question
do.
then.
Please do.
Okay, no problem. Easy.
Nigerian Central Bank currently uses a mix of high interest rates and currency management to control inflation, but this has also restricted credit and slowed growth. If you are president, would you back the CBN's current tightening stance on or push for looser policy? And specifically, what inflation target, exchange rate regime, and money supply growth rate would you aim for in your first 2 years? It's a very specific question with specific numbers. Thank you.
Sir, please, can you unmute? It seems like you've muted yourself.
His Excellency, sir, can you hear us, sir?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I say it's a good question. Unfortunately, I'm not an expert in finance, so I will keep the experts in finance to advise me on this.
Right,
Did I
thank you,
answer that
sir.
question?
Can I maybe ask a much simpler question in a different way, not directly finance. In your opinion, do you think the CBN is doing the right thing when it comes to monetary policy? In your opinion,
If they were, the exchange rate won't be as high as it is now.
okay. Thank you
Yes.
very much, sir. Thank you very much. That's all my question. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, yeah. So, Estee,
Press the
please.
place. You should abort your
Right,
place.
who just asked now? I'm sorry, I think I was a little bit distracted.
Truth.
Okay,
Emo Truth,
Emo.
you'll be
Okay,
done
okay,
now.
thank you so much. So let's move to Valerie. We have at least it's been guys. Let's be gender friendly here. Valerie, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, esteem. Hope you can hear me. And good morning, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi. Thank you for your time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah.
please. Go ahead.
Okay, so please, I have three questions for Mr. Rotimi. So number one, I want to know what is his stand on zoning. Then number two, does he regret joining APC to remove GEJ from power? And number three, considering the claim that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala claimed in her book that Rotimi Amaechi and other governors exposed saving funds in the excess crude accounts, arguing that earned money should be spent. How can ordinary Nigerians trust that Aso Rock will become a hub of wasteful spending amidst the country's current critical economic and social challenges? Thank you.
I want to reply Ngozi. There are three persons I want to reply. Ngozi is one. Hadiza is two. Dr. Dele is the third person. In my book, I'll reply them. But let me give you a bit of information about what transpired between us and Ngozi. There was a saving about, I don't know if it was about 48 billion naira. Every time we came for a meeting, Ngozi will explain to us. Every time we came for NEC, and that was from SS Food account. Ngozi will explain to us, that the president directed him to remove $1 billion. But that's not federal government money. Neither is it the president's money. So why are you removing the money like that? Okay, the president directed, we ignore it. The next month, we come for next meeting, it will happen. The third month, it will happen, then the governors protested. Give us our own share of the money. From $48 billion. They were able to give us only 10 billion. And that 10 billion was shared between the federal government, the state government, and the local government. After that, what happened? Let them go tell us what happened to the money. Because they could stop calling next meeting. By the time they handed over to Buhari, they didn't hand over up to $5 billion from the SS Crude account. And the president did not have the power, or does not have the power, to spend that money without NEC. But in Ngozi's watch, that happened. So what did she do? So when she said we do not want savings, it was under my chairmanship that we brought out that $1 billion to give to the Sovereign Wealth Fund. It was under, as chairman of Governors Forum, that the governors gave out $1 billion to Ngozi and to create the Sovereign Wealth Fund and appoint who she appointed as the head of the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So she's not right. But like I said, I will reply her in my own book, because she misled Nigerians. What's the second question? Because he said whether we trusted.
Zoning. If you believe in zoning, sir.
Again,
Yes, and also if he regrets joining APC to remove Goodluck Jonathan from power.
I don't. You should rather be praising me for trying to save Nigeria. it was a battle to save Nigeria, just like we're battling now to save Nigeria again. Now, so I don't regret joining APC to remove Goodluck Jonathan. In fact, I hear he wants to run. What different thing will he be doing? The only thing that is bringing back our former president is, he has only 4 years to run. How is that a criterion for a presidential candidate? He has just 4 years. Who gives a damn if he has just 4 years or 8 years? Now, you ask if I believe in zoning. Well, if it's going to bring stability in the country, yes. The answer is yes.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. We'll move to Owele. I don't know. I think that should be Owele. Owele, good morning. Are you there? Sorry, Dr. Steve.
No, let the next person ask question. I'm driving. Just once it's done,
All
I should be
right.
able to ask mine. Yeah.
All right, great. Dr. C, good morning.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Sikibo Ije Dagogo. Your Excellency, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. So, given the myriad of challenges in Nigeria, we've heard all the policies you're proposing. Has a feasibility study been done in achieving these within 4 years? And when are we going to get a glimpse of your policy documents? Thank you, sir.
Good question. That shows you're not a politician. Politicians don't ask such questions, so you're a good man. Politicians are used to people come to them. In 4 years, I would have completed everything I want to do. Honestly, I will release those documents early next year because I had them when I wanted to run for presidency in 2022 and all that. And I had timelines. Of great importance to me is the economy. And I've talked about social housing, I've talked about agriculture as a way of creating employment. I've talked about in the first 6 months to 1 year of my regime, every village will have a primary school. Every village will have a health center. Whose responsibility is it to do? That of the governor of the state and the local government. How will I achieve that? I will compel all governors and local government to meet with me and will contribute money to build such things. But those are infrastructure. What about the social? What about the policies? What about the health system? All that I will reveal by early next year, January.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I'll quickly move to Uncle Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. Good morning, His Excellency. My name is Jeffrey Okenewobodo. Actually, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Happy birthday, Uncle Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you. So, sir, I just want to quickly join and ask you a question. Before that, I also want to tell the General House that I was also impacted by your scholarship scheme. And today, by the grace of God, I'm still with my family in the UK. Although I always come back to support you in whatever you do. So people should not ask where are the 3,000. Among the 3,000, I'm part of them. I'm one. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you once again. So, sir, I just wanted to ask, with the rate of unemployment in the country, especially with the youths, like you said, during your time, I think it was a bit easier for the youths compared to this time. We have youths, I have so many friends that most of them are unemployed and they are not just doing nothing, they just always want to use politics as an escape route for poverty. So I'm asking, what will you do to make sure you'll be able to address the unemployment amongst the youths currently in Nigeria? Because you said when a man is hungry, he will go into different things, try to cause insecurity in the state and all that. So what will you do to make sure you make this thing not to happen?
I thought I've answered that question before, but I've talked about education. I've talked about social housing as a way of creating employment. I've talked about agriculture. But that's not all. The youths need to be part of leadership. They must not shy away from it, for Christ's sake. They must go. But again, If you look at the National Assembly, the current National Assembly is mad. I want to hold back myself. It's okay. But who are the people in the National Assembly? They're not old men. They're the youth. But people are not asking the question, what is going on among the youth? However, when I win, we will sit down and discuss how to manage the positive youths, not the ones that will run down the country, and how to create employment for the youth. I have told you here that key in my first 2 years will be how to create schools, both primary and secondary schools, working with the governors and the local government chairman, how to build social housing as another way of creating employment, which was what I did when I was in Port Harcourt. I just made sure that every village had a primary healthcare center, every village had a primary school. And it didn't cost us much, it was 120 million naira to build a primary school. Similar amount was paid for a primary healthcare center. We hired doctors, we hired about 400 doctors and put them in all the primary healthcare centers. In that same manner, what's the goal with those things? You are creating employment. Then when you combine it with social housing, you're also creating employment. But this is just what to do to grow the economy. You need to do more to get the youth involved in political activities and get them involved in leadership roles. That's what I would do.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Professor Incredible, Prof.
Yeah, good. Sorry, Professor Incredible, please, before you go on, Ibrahim, diplomat, please, I cannot see your request, please. I don't know. You are telling me that the space seems to be like more of a southern agenda or whatever. It is not. We are very open to accept requests from everybody from every zone. Please, I can't see your request. That's why I cannot bring you up.
No, that's a blackmail.
Please,
Not bother about
I need you to
blackmail.
understand
You
it.
call it a
I
blackmail. That's
apologize,
a
but
blackmail.
this.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
no, it's okay, it's okay. But then again, you should understand how this thing works. Sometimes you won't see somebody's request, and it's part of the glitches that the landlord of this particular app have not been able to fix. Please, we can't see your requests. It's not a certain agenda. Please, we do not have. We are one family. We are part of the coalition. We are part of the ADC, and we are Nigerians by extension. Please, I needed to quickly address that. So, Professor Incredible.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Your Excellency. So I have a series of questions. So I will start with this. Three questions, three short questions. So number one, you agreed that the subsidies should go during your submission. Please, can you hear me?
I say yes.
Yeah, you agree that the subsidies should go and that anybody that became president would have removed subsidy. But you are also chastising this government based on the effect of the removals of the subsidies. And I'm just wondering, would you have done something different? Maybe, or would you be doing something different when you become president? So that's number one. Then number two, the food crisis in Nigeria. Part of the low-hanging results, fruits that I believe is still the effect of these exports across border. Not the ones that go through the A&E window, the ones across border that is not captured into Nigeria's book. And nothing is being done by it. What would be your policy or what would you do around that? Then number three, in your submission, you said you saved Nigeria in 2015. You also said that a friend of yours had told you that they thought the Buhari's administration, that's the one that came after 2015, would have been or would be the worst. Would have been the worst. But now, this administration is below terrible. So my question to you now is that, why should we trust anybody or any politician at all that had been a part of all these administrations? Thank you.
I don't know whether you have been in Nigeria. If you have been in Nigeria, for Christ's sake, can't you distinguish me from the rest of the world? No, can we be honest in this program? Don't I, in my character and the way you see me, make a difference from the rest of the world? In fact, in Rivers State, I introduced town hall meetings where I went to every village that was part of Rivers State. And I'll go with the contractors because I awarded contracts in every village. And I will say, I have paid contractor A this amount of money. I have paid the contractor A this amount of money. This is the report he gave me. Is it true? Please, kindly differentiate me separate me from the rest now. I beg you. That's what I beg everybody who is contributing. If you think it's a lie, let's take up the argument. Let it be a part of the argument that and part of those. Key to the success of removal of oil subsidy is corruption, is stealing. If you leave that money and the dollars for the people, it will impact. You will see it, you will feel it. The reason why people are feeling hungry is because the dollars and all that are going into private pockets, and Nigerians don't care. If somebody comes and donates 1 billion, you didn't ask him what was he doing before he got the 1 billion. Hotels are being bought all over Nigeria, houses are being built all over Nigeria. You need to ask questions. Ask the Nigerian elites, where are they getting all this money from? That's what I think. I may be wrong. So if you say, well, why do we have to trust you for having been in all this government? I was one of the, what were they calling us? Okay, let me, for purpose of lack of what to call it, I was part of the team A in Buhari's government. And for Christ's sake, you can see what I did. You can see the fact that I completed the Itabewari Railway, which had been there for ages. Some of the young men and women who are here were not born when that railway was started, either by Babangida or by Shagari. And I think we didn't complete with more than $100 million. That's all it needed to complete it. I completed the railway started by Goodluck Jonathan, the Lagos, the Kano, Kaduna. No.
So my people, that is it. I hope you heard everything Rotimi Amaechi said here. So people are saying that he served under the worst government in Nigeria, which is under Buhari. But according to him, he said that Buhari is like 10 times better than Tinubu. People are saying that during that 8 years that Amaechi was a minister of transportation, like what did he do? What is achievement? Which you guys have seen what he said here. So I don't know what you think. As I bring this update to you guys, please leave your thoughts in the comment section about everything that he said here. Subscribe for more updates, like the video, share it as well. Thank you so much everyone for watching, and I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now. Welcome to